Ray.
And I'm Jenny, and we're Weber Family Reviews. And this is our 50 to 41.
Yep. Oh wait, I'm supposed to be more friendly.
He's working on it. And I'm supposed to hold the games properly. So we're working on a lot of things. Okay.
I yelled at her too.
Okay, so my 50 is Starship Catan. And now you'll see that we bought this at Half Price Books in Ohio. You can get some really cool games. This is actually a rather hard one to find, but Ray doesn't like Catan. I love Catan. But this is a great two-player version. You know, rather hard to find. We were really excited to find this at Half Price Books. But I think it's a great game if you like Catan, but you're not, you know, this is definitely a little bit different take on Catan. It's, of course, set in space, which for some people, that really helps.
I don't think the space is what does it for me. I think it's a really cool system. So my 50 is renpark. Polyominoes are neat. So you take the shape of the different bears and you're trying to build up enclosures, get 4 full enclosures, end of the game, get points for getting the enclosures in there, get points for doing various shapes or types based on bonuses. So I like it. It's a great game. It's really simple. You're just placing them, but there's a simple mechanics, but there's a lot to it that can really mess up your entire plan.
Well, you don't ever draw tiles. You get them when you cover up certain icons. And so if you don't work it so you always have an icon available, you can kind of get yourself, you can lose a turn in essence. So there is a bit of strategy to how you do that and getting stuff to fill up, because when you get all down to 1, you get a bear statue. Well, the first couple are worth a lot of points.
Yep.
Okay, my 49 is Dinosaur Island. And this is worker placement. You're doing lots of things. You're working on your things. And we actually had both this and Dinosaur Island. And we got rid of Dinosaur Island because we think this one plays well enough at 2 players that we didn't need a specific 2-player version of it. That's up to you, but we liked this 2-player. We've also, our 10-year-old even plays, it's a little bit much for him, but he likes all the different pieces. My one complaint would be that they need to take the dinosaur meeples from Draftosaurus and put them in this game.
No, we didn't kickstart it, so we got the purple, all the same dinosaur. If we kickstarted Dinosaur World, so we'll see.
So we'll see, but
we get cool meeples there.
Yes.
I like dice. Sagrada is dice drafting with placement rules, and you're building stained glass with these different colored dice. It's actually a very pretty game. You can work yourself into a problem, but again, this one's really quick, but I find it very satisfying when you complete it, or also even when you screw it up. Like you got something in the wrong spot so it doesn't count and you can't put it there, and it works out well. I like it, especially the way they do the special powers. First person, it only costs 1, and then it goes up from there.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's pretty, but not like, you know, overwhelmingly like, oh, that's all I'm looking at. But and the dice work really good. So it's thinky, but you don't feel like you're stuck constantly. My 48 is a game that I was actually looking for, and we did kickstart this one, Cleopatra Architect, with the reprint. And this is just one of those games that looks awesome on the table. It's this huge building, and it's just really cool to see it all come together. And I really like how some of the cards are face up and some are face down as you're deciding what to take. There's definitely a lot of thought to what you do, and we've really enjoyed our plays of this. And this was something that I really wanted, but it was out of print. They finally reprinted it. We're like, okay, we have to get it. And I have to say, I think it lived up to the hype.
Yep, so there's a couple that I would like to do that are Kickstarters coming. Looking forward to Ultimate Railroads. Cave versus Cave. So Caverna, Cave versus Cave. I like Caverna a lot more than I like Agricola. And I like Cave versus Cave a lot more than All Creatures Great and Small. Cave versus Cave has some of the buildings. You're going to build rooms and the like in your cave. You got to excavate your cave. But you also happen to have action. I always want to say theft, but really it's action drafting. I will take this action this round, and you cannot. And it goes back and forth. Really cool action track, which lets you do a couple of different things. There's choices. I think this is one of the best 2-player games out there. So
I like all of them. I like Caverna. I like Agricola. I like all creatures great and small.
Weirdo.
Yes, I like that one too, though, as well. I think it's a lot of fun. I like collecting all my stuff, and I just enjoy building my cave. So, okay, my 47 is Islebound. And we like Red Raven games a lot, but we actually tend to like their smaller games more than their bigger games. This is the one big game that we've kept. We've actually had a lot of his larger games. We haven't kept a lot of them. This one has stayed in the collection. I love how there's definitely an aspect to moving around, but it doesn't feel like it takes you forever to get one place to the other. There's lots of cool stuff to do. You have the option to colonize or to do the military action. You can still go to places even after other people have taken over. It's just now you have to pay them versus the bank. So there's lots of cool choices in this. And we playing it 2-player, it's quick, it's fun, and you feel like you've got all these cool different things. And oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I like a game where it just feels like everything's a cool, fun choice to do. So this is a game Ray likes as well.
I like it a lot. We got it written. I don't remember where it is on mine. I know it's on there. But we got it written
probably up much higher on yours.
Yep. I thought I was going to hate this game. Minecraft Builders and Biomes. We got it for the kids. And it turns out I like this one a lot. It's a resource management action selection game. So you can move and do something else. You've got, I think it's 4 actions. I'd have to pull out the card. But you've got 4 actions you can do. You pick 2 of those. You cannot do the same action twice in one turn. And you're trying to build using large chunky cubes. I mean, these are inch by inch by inch cubes.
They look like something off an elementary school worksheet on volume because we've got kids in virtual school right now. I stare at this a lot.
But you can move around and you score 3 times, and it's looking for different icons based on the biomes. And you can also fight the mobs. You can get better equipment. You build these areas. It turned out to be a really cool game. So Minecraft Builders and Biomes, don't underestimate it. I know it's not on your list, but I know you like this one.
Oh, I love playing it with the kids. And I would bet that if you looked at my list, it probably just slightly didn't make the top 100. Because we always have a blast with the kids. And the nice thing is the kids can set it up on their own.
Yeah.
They can kill us at times because it's really, there's a lot of good decisions in it. Like, you have to be thinking, because you're thinking ahead to once you understand how the scoring works. Even while you're planning on scoring 1, you're already building out to 2 and 3. And the kids do an excellent job of this.
But I think even adults, like I would pull this out with our game group, and I bet you that we'd all have a great time.
Yeah. So now my number 2, we're back to farming game. My number 46 is Fields of Arle. And I love any farming game. I just do. I get a lot of pleasure out of it. This is a great 2-player game. There's a lot of great choices. You've got the workplace, you've got the path you're building, and there's lots of it. But the one thing, Ray doesn't like the games that feel punishing, and this one doesn't necessarily feel punishing. It also doesn't feel like you have to do specific things. That's his biggest complaint with Agricola, is you have to do everything or you will lose massive negative points. This one isn't.
No.
You feel like you got a lot more and you got all these different upgrades. It's a really great game. It's a great 2-player game. And if you're someone who,
2-player only.
Yes, which is, if you're the type who likes like Agricola or Caverna, but you're playing most of the games 2-player, this is a great option for you because it's made to be 2-player. And so there doesn't, all the competition's built right into there.
Spoiler, I like that one a lot. You'll see it later.
Yeah.
5 Tribes. 5 Tribes is great. You got a bunch of different oases across the realm, or actual parts on the desert, And what you're doing is you've got a bunch of different colored meeples randomly scattered, and it's a Mon-Cala. You pick up the whole group of them, whole handful, and then you're going to move around, and then you're going to do the action based on the color meeple you place last and the number of those colors in there. Some of them you get to pull off, you put them in front of you, and what that does is it leads to points later, or gives you some flexibility or acts as a resource. I'm trying to remember which color is which. We haven't played this one in a while. We'll have to get that back out. But you're also got some resource gathering to get some points. Money's points, and you auction your turn order. 2-player, not a big deal. 3 or higher, big deal. You can end up losing a lot of points just to get that one spot that you truly need. I find it fun. It's a great game. There is some thinking. Don't consider. I don't consider this one non-thinky.
No, and if you're the type who gets stuck, analysis paralysis, this can be one of those because you're trying to think through every option, and there sometimes is a lot of options. We tend to be just, we make a decision and go for it. Now, is that always in our best interest? No, but that's just how we play, so we don't ever tend to run into that. It was my 87. I like it as well, and that's a game that we got in clearance, and we thought, we're going to hate this. We're going to play this, and we're going to say, and then we're going to pass it on, and we ended up loving it. So that was definitely a shocker of a game for us. Probably one of our biggest surprises.
Barnes & Noble, it was 75% off. You can go find deals. Apparently, this is also our deal area.
Yeah, we get some good. We're always looking for a good deal. Okay, my 45 is Dice Forge. And this is another game I really didn't intend on liking. Like, when he brought it home, he's like, you're creating dice. I was worried about several things. First of all, I was like, I don't have the same adoration of dice that he does. And I was also worried that as I'm switching out sides that, oh my gosh, stuff's going to be flying off. It's not going to work. But we didn't have any problems with components. It actually was kind of hard to get the sides off at times, but they do come off. And when they snap back on, they're not coming off just because you rolled the dice. And this was actually really cool. I really enjoyed this. And as I said, this was not a game I anticipated liking. I thought he was going to like it a lot more because it was all that dice stuff, but it's really cool. And as I said, the components really impressed me because I was really worried. You're taking apart dice and putting them back together, but it's similar to Legos. Once they're together, they're coming apart, but they're not. I mean, it really is. Yeah. They remind me so much of Legos, and we have tubs of Legos, so I'm an expert on Legos.
I like it a lot. Dice Forge is good. All right, this was your number 62, The Great Dinosaur Rush. This was a Kickstarter on a whim. Like, literally, I was like, this looks cool. You're going to actually look for, they're half-inch long sticks, maybe a little bit longer, 3/4 inch long, colored sticks. And you're collecting them like an archaeologist. But then, you get to make your dinosaur skeleton behind your screen based on certain aspects that you're trying to get. And you're changing what's worth what points throughout the entire game. You've got some bonuses. Everybody reveals them at once. It always looks cool. The game is, mechanism-wise, is easy enough for, he was playing it at 8-year-old, but as adults, I've really enjoyed playing this one.
The other thing, too, is there's 2 versions. We always play the family version.
No, we don't. We always play the mean one.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
I thought we originally played... Okay. Well, there's 2 versions, because there's this way you can pretty much take negative points to take nefarious actions. I don't know that we take all that many, but...
we don't, but we have the option.
Yeah. So, anyways, but it is, and... since our son likes dinosaurs so much, and to be able to build your own dinosaurs, it's just really cool.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, my 44 is a little game. It is Roll Through the Ages, the Bronze Age, and this could be, we actually have both the Bronze and the Iron Age, and we actually just bought the full version of Roll Through the Ages.
Just Through the Ages.
The Through the Ages, the big one, because I've never played the big one, so we'll see what we think of that one. But we both really like both the Bronze and the Iron Age. And it's really nice components, wooden dice. You've got this nice board in front of you. And you just really, I get a lot of satisfaction of I'm collecting all my different things. And you do have to feed your people, but there's usually, it's not that hard to do. And you have a lot of control because as long as you slowly build out your cities, how much you need is relative to the number of cities and or ports you have. And so it doesn't feel punishing is the word that usually he uses. But he likes this one as well. Yeah. So we really enjoy this one. We've had a lot of fun with both this and the Iron Age, and we would recommend it. And it was his 99, so he likes it too.
Yeah. Yes, I do. All right, my favorite pandemic. Pandemic the Cure. And I know I didn't count the Legacy ones, because Pandemic Legacy is cool. You get the experience, and we did it with the group. But if I'm going to grab Pandemic anymore, I tend to grab the Cure. Mostly because it is the quickest to set up. It plays really well. Yes, there are dice.
He does. You will notice a theme. He likes dice.
I do like dice, but
dice don't like him.
I think the other thing is because of the ease of setup, the quick play. I mean, you set it up, you're done in 30 minutes with this, and that's typically for us. That's setup and play. Mm-hmm. I can get a game of this in really quickly, and it feels very fulfilling. And I think it might be because I just played regular Pandemic so much, and then Pandemic Legacy, and then Pandemic Legacy Season 2, that it's kind of... But this one doesn't feel quite like it, so I don't mind it. It doesn't... It feels different. Man, I've actually just found myself in this one. I like this one best right now.
And we did buy, they just put out the shortest version yet, which is Hot Zone. And we did buy it. It was $20 at Target. Yeah. It's a little too short for us. We actually sent it to the cabin. It's not that it was a bad game. And if you want a quick version, it's much like if you tried the Ticket to Ride London or New York.
Yeah.
I would very much the same that. It simplifies it and it shortens it. A little too simple for what we want, but something for like us, the cabin, or if you wanted something to take, on trips, it's smaller also. Because Pandemic is not a small game when you get it all out. But that is what's nice about the Cure is it is smaller as well. So,
yeah.
Okay. He does like his dice. Now my 43, we're back to Catan. I like Catan. I like all the different versions of Catan. This one, I really like the god powers in ancient Egypt. I really think they really add a lot, and it's a lot of fun to go back and forth. They add a lot of power, but then you have to give them up, and someone else can get them. And so they move around. I like how the map is very much Egypt. You have to cross the Nile. You're building papyrus boats. My one complaint with this is, in general, I would say Mayfair does a pretty good job. The pyramid you're building is the most
awful.
Yes, it is just sad looking. Sad. And I was really disappointed with the components of this game, I would say.
I think you're blocking your face today.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. No one wants to see my face anyways.
I've been yawning the whole time, so we're not redoing this video. One take!
Okay. But so I would say my biggest complaint with this is that the specialty Catans, if you want them, you pretty much have to buy them when they come out.
Yeah.
There's only so much. They're hard to get afterwards. And so we bought this as soon as it came out, knowing I would want it. And I do. I really enjoy it. But I would say the components are a disappointment. And so if you're someone who that's a big deal for you, that's probably a deal breaker on this. Because this is the saddest looking pyramid you will ever see. It's little cardboard chips. It goes nowhere.
To give you a heads up, the Minecraft blocks were better.
Yes.
All right. I would say...
Honestly, that'd make an awesome pyramid. We should almost just start borrowing the Minecraft blocks.
We're going to leave the Minecraft blocks there.
Well, we could just use them and put them back.
We'll figure... We'll see what we can do. I'll get you blocks. Mm-hmm. One of the best themed co-op games out there. It's hard. You feel the failure. Freedom, the Underground Railroad, has a... much like most Academy games, very historical feel. I'm glad it's pure co-op. Nobody has to be the slave traders or catchers. That's an automated system. But the whole goal is to get free slaves and get them to Canada. And, there's strategic, It's got things that you can easily connect to historical events. It has event cards that are both good and bad, and the game flows smoothly. Takes an hour or two, and I've always wanted to play it again. It is a great game. Freedom of the Underground Railroad. If you are a teacher teaching history, this is another one that can easily be used for that. And they always give you a booklet.
They do. They're really good about that. And the nice thing is, since this is co-op, you could really play a fairly large group because you could put them in teams, working together to do the different actions. And so that is nice about it. And of course, obviously, a lot of people are home right now. You could easily do it, especially if you just had a couple of kids at home studying that time period. It's really cool. And you just make them read every card, and they'll learn a lot just in that process. That's, spoiler, higher on my list. 42. This is one of our earliest purchases kind of on the spur and turned out to be really good. What's cool is this is the dice drafting before dice drafting got all popular. But everyone, it kind of got forgotten. And then all that became popular and everyone forgot this one already existed. This is really neat. You're collecting different colors of dice, and the different colors of dice have different probabilities. They have different, some have, an 8 on one side where others only have, I think 2 through 4. So depending on the color of dice, you can have higher rolls. And you're trying to get higher rolls to get better cards, as well as to get all the airship built, because there's a lot of points in those airships. So it's really fun, and if you, again, like dice drafting, a lot of the newer games that came out, this is an older one that came out that I think really got forgotten. And so now some of it is there's not very many good. We had a lot of trouble learning to play this game. The rule book isn't that great, and there's not, because it wasn't very popular, there's not a lot of great rules videos on it. So it definitely, I wouldn't say, at this point, if you've played a lot of dice drafting, I don't think you'll have any trouble picking it up. But I wouldn't say this should be your first of that genre.
Well, the translation didn't work too well because it's a German one. But Airships is great, and we did. That was one of the ones we walked in. Somebody had a store off to the side. We walked in, bought it on alert because airships, aviation is big to me, and it stayed in our collection for an incredibly long time.
So probably one of our first purchases,
So, Battle of the Five Armies. This Airships was really close on mine. This, I believe, is near the bottom of her list. I think this one is right around where she put Uno. It's still above Monopoly, but not by a significant margin. And that's because the theme gets me. I like these Ares games. They did the Lord of the Rings, the War of the Ring, and I love that game too. This one is a quicker game. So I think it goes higher, but it's kind of along the same lines. You have card play, and dice, card play, dice, and action dice. I'm trying to, it's still the same general ratio. The bad guys have more action dice than the good guys, and you get more action dice based on that. You roll them, you can do things with those dice on your turn, alternating turns. The difference is, in Battle of the Five Armies, it's reversed. In War of the Ring, the free people are on a time clock because the bad guys can easily build up and smash. This one, the bad guys better win quickly, because once you start getting Bjorn, and then the Eagles, and then you're just going to die. But it's got some of the risk things. You're rolling dice against their dice, but at the same time, the card play makes it a whole different ball game, and the heroes versus, regular guys. So the Battle of the Five Armies, excellent game. And she's wrong.
Well, so to be fair to me, when I'm a lot of times looking at a game, like, okay, I'm never going to choose to play this game. But this compared to Uno will be over in 10 minutes. That will take 2 hours.
Hour and a half.
So that's a lot of the reasons it ends up lower than a game, say, Uno. I don't mind playing with it. We've had some really good experiences with both that and the other one, the War of the Ring. It's just, I don't like area control games. I don't like the dudes in the map fighting. It's like everything I don't like in a game. So.
I'm not picking on you.
Yes, you are.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, my 41 here is Dice City. Well, you know, just you have no say. It's got dice in it. You should love it.
Not all dice are good. There's not enough dice mitigation.
Yeah. This is kind of fun because you start with a basic layout. Everyone starts with the same layout, and then you get, then you get cards that replace them. You get to pick where you replace them, and you're slowly pretty much improving where you could put your dice, and that's really cool in itself. And there is a lot of ways as you get those cards out. You do have some dice mitigation. But starting out, you don't have a lot, and you're just trying to beat the bad guys and get certain things. But I like that you're changing everything as you go, and so everyone's board at the end is going to look different. Everyone starts the same board, but at the end, no one has the same board. It just really depends on what card you buy. So I really enjoy Dice City.
It's actually a really good one, but I don't know. The problem is it's probably right around the middle of where my stuff is, right around where Kingsburg is. So, and my 41 is the one I keep bringing up because nobody knows this exists. It is a small game, and I love it. I will pull this out at random and go, I would like to play it, and it's called The Builders. Now, we got it in this thing because I hate tins, but it's in a tin. And The Builders, I'm looking to see if they actually have the company on it. I don't know. The Builders and the Middle Ages and Antiquities, and I counted them the same. Antiquity. Thank you. The other one's a magic set. You are actually essentially drafting guys, different workers with different skill level, to build different monuments and the like, and it costs you money to put them out onto it. And actions, but after you complete one, you get money and points. First one to 17 points wins.
What's cool about Antiquity versus Middle Ages? So Middle Ages is great. It's real simple. Antiquity, you can actually send your workers to school, and you can improve them.
Yep.
Which is really cool. And it's an outlay. You have to pay to send them to school, but then they get better, and it's really neat. They have little overlays that go on them. So it's a really cool mechanic just right in there. You can also, you get a slave, which works free, but then it's negative points. So there's a lot.
You free them.
Yeah, but you can free them, and then and if you free them by a certain thing, then you have to start paying them, but you don't get the negative points. It's really kind of cool in that Antiquity definitely has a few more levels of strategy than the Middle Ages does, but we've played the heck out of both of them, and they're just so little, and they can go anywhere with us that it's really nice.
Even when we had them in the tin, they fit pretty good. It's just tins fall over all the time.
And we still have the tins somewhere underneath the crawl space. It's just...
That was 50 through 41.
So we'll see you next time for 40 through 31. Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking there, though. There's a bunch that don't have crossover there.
Oh, well, it just means that my twists were better than yours.
Fair enough. Thanks. I was going to say have a good Friday, but not favorite game Friday. Have a good day.